cheer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of our mighty silver and black, and unto these colors for which we stand, greater nation under a groove, with free speech and liberty. Remember the tools. He who has ears, let him hear. I hereby declare I am a Raiders fan. I am a Raiders fan.
Hello, Raider Nation. Welcome to Sideline with Oakland Raider Savage and myself, Raider Homer. We'll get him on here. Here we go with the technical difficulties. There he is. How you doing, Oakland Raider Savage?
I'm just over here trying to figure out life, but I'm out here. It's been a long off season. We got a game coming up on Thursday, baby. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see some Raider football again. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, got big time season coming up. You know, lots of changes. Of course, everybody knows that. So I'm looking forward to getting into tonight's show. But before we get going, be sure to get your calls in for tonight's phone blitz. Call 512-298-2407 and let your voice be heard, Raider Nation. Give us your thoughts on the team or ask us a question. What kind of questions you got for us? You got any questions for us, Oakland Raider Savage?
Well, my question for the Raider Nation is, are you ready for some football? We're coming up real close. I'm just ready for it. We're here. It's been a long time since we've been on the air. But you know what? Just when you thought it was safe to go on the air, we came back. Oh, yeah. And I want to give a shout-out, birthday shout-out to Asylum out there in Kansas, holding it down, making sure the Chiefs fans over there are shivering when he comes with his cage. Happy birthday to Asylum out there. Big shout-out. Oh, yeah, right there. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Happy birthday to Asylum. Asylum's been a big part of the Section 105 Media Network for a while. Cannot wait to see y'all's upcoming or hear y'all's upcoming podcast. And you know what? So you see it. It says with the Kings of Monday Night Football up here. We've interviewed a lot of football players and Raider Nation on Monday Nights Live. We're switching it over to this format that's focusing mostly on the football team. You'll hear some deep cuts from Raider Nation as we transition through scenes. Use some of the music and the stingers and whatnot. But on tonight's show, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick look, at some of the position groups that concerned us the most during our quick hit segment. And after that, we'll take a look at the schedule and give you our predictions. And I swear to God, I'll practice reading this and get it right the next time. All right, cool. Now, look, check it out. The quick Hicks. Damn Hicks. Hey, Bill Hicks was hilarious. He's one of my favorite comedians. So maybe that's just a subliminal deep cut, subliminal reference. But, all right, so before we get started with tonight's quick hits, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Big Tony, who was the sergeant at arms for the Black Hole in Austin, Texas. That guy was dedicated to the chapter. He was dedicated to the Raiders. A lot of y'all knew him out there. He passed recently. So, our prayers go out to his wife and to his family. So let's go ahead and take a moment of silence.
One nation.
All right, here we go with our quick hit segment. As we said earlier, what we'll do is we'll take a look at two position groups that concern us the most. For me, it's going to be the defensive line. And Savage, what's going to be your most concerning position group?
Well, as a former offensive lineman in high school and an offensive lineman coach in high school, my main concern is the offensive line. Oh, yeah, they're ranked 28th. But we need to get it up there. We got to protect and all that. So that's my concern right there is the offensive line.
Yeah, well, for me, the offensive line, I'm in between. I expected, and I talked about it on the Only Nation podcast. I expected Denzel Good to be back from injury. He's unfortunately had to retire. I doubt he's going to be able to come back, but it's a technicality. He could come back, but I doubt it. But again, with that being said, you know what? Denzel Good, he only played for, I think, a quarter last year in the first game. So we didn't really, have them all season long, and we still were able to grind out a playoff berth. So I'm excited still to see this offensive line pretty much come back, intact with the addition of Alex Bars, from the Chicago Bears, who can play tackle and guard. I would like to see him play swing guard. John Simpson probably is going to start. We got the depth chart right here. We can go ahead and scroll down to the offensive line, as you can see right there. Just go to ESPN.com and you can see this for yourself. This is their depth chart. But I'm excited to see this battle at right tackle. Leatherwood came in. We were at the draft special with Raider Fan Radio. So it was exciting to be a part of that, and I called it, right? I figured they were going to take an offensive tackle, and they did. They took Leatherwood. A lot of people weren't exactly happy with that, but, following that, we got Moreg, which we'll get into in my part of the quick hits segment. But I think that this offensive line did help lead us to the playoffs, and now there's going to be a little bit of change as far as scheme going to zone scheme from what I'm hearing. But I believe that these guys will be able to handle it because, first of all the adversity that this team handled last year really bodes well for what this team can do and what it can overcome. So I'm expecting this team to actually play pretty well, or this offensive line to play pretty well, and Leatherwood to step up at right tackle and do what he does, and Brandon Parker be that swing tackle backing up Colton Miller and Leatherwood. That's the way it should be. That's what I'm hoping for. Again, Simpson came in. He played well against the run, or he played well leading the run, and he played well pass protection. Andre James, he was a project. We certainly miss Rodney Hudson, but this coaching staff seems to still believe in him. And again, I think that's because this was an offensive playoff caliber offensive line last year. Now Lester Cotton Sr., from what I'm hearing on Raider Nation Radio, is lighting it up in practice. So lots to be hopeful for when it comes to the offensive line. Lots of experience, lots of youth. So I'm not too worried about that. But you are the offensive line coach, so we'll go ahead and take your word on it. Now let me get to my notes.
We got some. Is it not my turn? Your turn.
My bad. Yeah, go ahead, please. It's all yours.
Is it you? Is it me? Tag team. What we doing?
I'm handing it off.
No, I'm saying with the offensive line, with the offensive line, we got to make sure that unit is secure because, we got Khalil Mack is back in the division. He's over there playing with the Chargers alongside Jerry Bosa. We got to have our bookends, block their bookends. We got Colton Miller. He is the one veteran. He was like the top 5 amongst all tackles, left tackles. So we need Leatherwood to step it up, move back over to the right tackle and handle those sides. The left side and the right side, Colton Miller for Carr's backside, and then, Leatherwood right there. It's going to be, the AFC West, we got some pass rushers, so we got to make sure that we got those two right there at least solidified so we can go and, go to them deep passes to Adams and Waller down the sideline and all that. So we need to make sure the offensive line is secure, and that's my main concern because everything starts in the trenches. Everything starts with the offensive line.
Oh yeah, damn sure starts in the trenches. But you know what? I think that's one thing that will really help this offensive line, other than the experience that they gained from last year, is the fact that Derek Carr has that quick release. He's always had that quick release. It's always helped his offensive line. I expect that to help him again this year. We were, a playoff team last year at 10-7. There's no reason we can't win 2 more games this year. We're going to need to win it. We're playing in the AFC West, as you talked about, man. It's loaded up on offense and pass rushers on defense. This is going to be the toughest division in, the NFL for probably the next 3 to 4 years, right? You would think, because there's a lot of talent in this division. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at my concerns. Which was that? Oh yeah, I had notes right here. So I gotta oops, I messed it up. Here, let me open it up on another page. I'll just take a look at my notes. Y'all can see my notes. Here. Let me adjust.
Hey, it's still preseason, guys. It's still preseason even for us. It's still preseason.
Well, I mean, this is a new format for us too. You know what I mean? We're trying different things here. We're used to just doing interview-based shows. Now we're trying to break down this team. All right, so quick hits, right? So check it out. Took some notes from ESPN.com, Vegas Review Journal. Always go and check those out. Listen to Raider Nation Radio. Lots of good notes on there. You'll learn a lot. All right, so the group that I'm most concerned about is the defensive back unit. All right, you got a second-year defensive back coach in Chris Ash. He's my number one concern. You know, the AFC West, as we just talked about, is loaded with offensive talent. And, these guys are going to be challenged. There's Jared Judy, there's Keenan Allen, there's, I know they don't have, the child abuser anymore, but they still have, Kelsey, right? And so, we'll get into a little bit of the looks that we've seen, but there's still lots of deep threats all throughout this division. So my number one concern is that we have the second-year guy coming in trying to teach man coverage, and probably possible different sets. We're looking at 4-2-5. I've heard 3 safeties here and there. So there's a lot on this guy, Chris Ash's plate, to really get this defensive backs room up to par. But I will say this: you go back and you look at the highlights, of some of these free agents that we got. Some of the free agents like Anthony Everett, who, he had his best game for the Ravens, right? So he had 46 solo tackles, 3 interceptions, and 11 pass defenses last year. He's probably going to be more, 3, 4th defensive back. But you know what? When we have depth like this guy that is coming off his best season, he's coming into his own, that creates the ability for us to rotate and keep guys fresh and make big plays. So, this depth really helps out the team overall. So I'm excited to see him. Again, we just talked about 3 defensive backs. So we signed Duron Harmon, who had 21 interceptions and 38 passes defense in 144 career games. You go back and you look at his highlights. He is not afraid to try to high point the ball. He's big. He's physical. The reports are, is he going to play for strong safety or free safety? You got Morag back there playing well. Our biggest concern is Abram. But again, I said 3 safeties here and there. I can see Harmon coming in and playing like a, deep a little bit and letting Abram play up front and towards the line of scrimmage where he really excels as a safety. So, again, they signed some really good guys. There are a few other guys, but these 2 are the ones that I really wanted to take a look at. So I took him out. And then, of course, we traded for Rock Janssen. He's coming in from his best career or best season from Indy. You know what I mean? So these guys are coming in. They're young. They're coming into their own. It's just a matter of this defensive back coach being able to say, hey, look, be here, be there. We talked to Randy Hansen on Section 105 Media Network, and a lot of it, like he was talking about is, the coaches being able to put their players in the right position. And so hopefully Chris Ash can do that. But other than the free agents, we still have a lot of homegrown talent. Nate Hobbs is apparently killing it in training camp, right? He's making plays against Devontae Adams. Of course, Devontae Adams is coming back and making plays, but, the cliche is iron sharpens iron. So, these guys are making each other better. These are what our defensive backs are going up against, are this great wide receiving core. So, we should be able to do it. Like I said, they're not afraid to make plays, but are they going to be in the right position to make plays? That's my main concern. But we do have lots of talent like Nate Hobbs, Trayvon Moore. He's been going up against Waller. So, lots of young talent in the backfield. It's just a matter of whether Chris Ash can handle it. Now, a few of the concerns of mine, right? We got Jonathan Abram. Reports are he's still running into people and hurting them as well as himself. So this guy is he's reckless, to say the least. But I love watching him play. He hits like a Raider. You know what I mean? We need that. We need an enforcer. But he just got to get a little bit smarter. And, of course, I'm just some jackass online talking about the Raiders. But you would think that's what he just got to get a little bit smarter and play a little bit safer. And then, of course, like we talked,
more in control, just more in control.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Now you're talking. All right. Cool. I'm glad you're in this conversation.
Yes.
To finish off some of these notes.
You're talking as fast as Abram plays right now.
Well, I had a lot of coffee to start off. You know what I mean? It's 9 o'clock over here. It's after 9. It's past my bedtime. But okay. So as far as young talent, we got concerns. We got Trayvon Mullen coming back. He's not able to come back. He's on the PUP list. But they're expecting him to be able to come back towards the end of the preseason and things like that. But can he stay healthy? Guy, I've called him to be the best cornerback we've had since Charles Woodson. And I think that he can play well enough to be, considered in that group of, elite cornerbacks that we've had as a team. But, again, can he stay healthy? So, lots of question marks when it comes to the defensive back coach, but still lots of potential.
So I think what the lady said, Charles Woodson. I think the latest or the last team that we had like a decent defensive backfield was Charles Woodson's last couple of years, because he was that center fielder that can put people on their place. I think a lot of the time, like last year, players are trying to do too much, trying to over pursue one side, or Abram. We remember that one play at the end of the Chiefs game 2 years ago when he bit on what the hell is his name over there in KC?
Kelsey.
The quarterback over there.
Yeah, and gave up the
touchdown.
touchdown.
No, the quarterback.
Oh.
He gave a touchdown to Kelsey on that post route.
Yeah.
That, where they basically won the game on that touchdown. Mahomes, that jackass, I can't remember his name. No one cares about that guy. He bit on Mahomes, had the little post route that was supposed to be his guy, but right past him scored. So you always remember that one play. And that one play basically sticks with us when it comes to Abram. But Abram does play. He puts his head down. He wants to kill everybody, which I like. That little Jack Tatum, chills right there. But he needs to play more control. We just need somebody back there that could be the coach on the field. We need like a quarterback. You got your middle linebacker type of thing for the front. But we need like a quarterback back there who can get the DBs in position, who knows how to cover. And that's the one thing we're looking for, is that one guy that can be the center fielder and put people in position, that coach on the field. So who do you think could be that one that can step up to be that one?
Well, I think Moore is going to be that guy. He's young, he's smart, he's in every play, and he graded, I think, at a 72.5 for PFF, whatever that means, right? But people are talking about that's like top 10 and as far as young talent. So I think that this guy has the talent, and then of course there's this Polamalu kid. Let's see, and yes, this is a direct descendant of Troy Polamalu. I think I see him in here somewhere. Let me see. Come on, where's he at? Okay.
Speaking of descendants, going back to my offensive line, Tyron Wheatley's son is a backup tackle. Can you imagine second-generation Raider playing tackle? Number 60 out there, big old Wheatley at offensive line.
Running down the field. All right, so here we go. They
should have him wear 47, tackle eligible.
Let's see. Let me see. What did I do here? There we go. Isaiah. Again, we're on ESPN.com. Just talking Raiders here. Now this guy, apparently he's been playing well. So I'm excited to see him. 6'4", 211 pounds. You never know. This guy could be the dark horse. He could bust into the scene and make some huge plays. But I'm expecting Moreg to be the main guy. And then of course you got Harmon, who can come in and help in situations that Jonathan Abram is just too wild to help in. So, the defensive back, I'm really expect as far as the back end, I'm expecting Moreg to be the number one guy.
That's what we need. We need that one guy to step up, especially like in the safety positions. Right there, free safety, someone that can see the whole field and know where and when to cover, and be that safety in that just in case. Because we got burners in this division. We got burners in this league. So we got to take it to that next level. We got to make sure we can cover tight ends. That was another weak point we had last year.
Yeah. Well, that's where Harmon can come in and help, I think. That guy, he's big, so that's kind of what we need. And that's why we're probably going to see those three safety tight ends. Another guy that was, I think, technically a safety was Divine Diablo. So I expect him to play a little bit of that hybrid roles, here in this defense too. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot to be excited for overall on this team. There's a lot to be concerned about. But I believe that the front office is heading in the right direction. That's for sure. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and see what we got coming up here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the schedule. You can see what I'm reading off. Checked out this article from the Vegas Review Journal, written by Adam Hill. This is pretty nice little breakdown. Go check them out. Vegas Nation, Vinny Bonsignor, all them. That's I really enjoy listening to what they're putting out and checking out their content. So go ahead and check them out too. shameless little plug for somebody I think is pretty cool. I love Raider Nation Radio, man. That's what I listen to all day long at work. You know, I'm just getting fed this information, and now the football season's here. We're getting ready to go to Canton, Ohio. Me and my wife, we're gonna enjoy ourselves. So I'm excited. I'm super excited. But okay, let's go ahead and get to our season predictions.
I'm a motherfucking Raider.
All right, so here we go. I'll take a look at this. I'm gonna get these screens split up to where I can navigate through them a little bit easier. But for now, we'll go ahead and go back to LasVegasRaiders.com. Week 1 of the regular season. We're going to our home away from home. But you know what? Let me take a quick look here. I wrote down some pros and cons of this schedule. All right, pros. All right, not very many that I could think of, but I'm trying to remain positive. I am a homer. You know, I'm always about the team being able to do it no matter what. So I'm gonna stay positive about this.
17-0.
17-0.
17-0.
That's it. That's the show. Show's over. All right, cool. So
Let's go.
a pro is that we start the season in our home, away from home, L.A. against the Chargers. Big game coming up. You know, if we can go to L.A., get that W, start out the season 1-0 with the division win, with somebody that we beat to get into the playoffs last year. You know, that's important. I believe that's something that we have to do. So we can get into that. We can call it here in a little bit. Now, another pro that we have listed here is that we come out of the bye week at home versus a rebuilding Houston Texans. So, you know, the Houston Texans don't have Deshaun Watson anymore. They don't have DeAndre Hopkins.
Hey, no one got Deshaun Watson. Browns, sorry.
Yeah, and we don't have Arden Key to kick Deshaun Watson in the eye anymore, unfortunately. But maybe fortunately, that part I can't figure out. But so it's a rebuilding team. So it's nice that we were going to be able to come out of the bye week and play a team that we should win. And this could be something that really shows the Raider Nation that, hey, this Raider team is real. Because, of course, a lot of the Raider Nation wants to see it first. So we'll see what happens. All right, now a con. Here are some of the cons. I got about 4 of them. As I said, it was a little harder to put together a pros list, but it was pretty easy to put together a cons list. The bye week is during the 6th week of the NFL season. That, never helps our team, man. We never have a good season, it seems like, when we have a bye week early on. So I don't like that at all. So we'll just see what happens. Now, there's a stretch that includes 3 road games against playoff contenders in the first 5 weeks. So we're looking at a tough schedule to open it up. But, hey, I think that this team learned how to play a tough schedule when they won 4 games straight, to get into the playoffs. So I'm not too worried about that either. We'll see what happens. But the one thing that I am kind of worried about, right, is that we play Mahomes twice, Herbert twice, and now Russell Wilson twice. So that's a lot of QB talent that we got to face. And then the last one I have, the 2022 schedule ranked easiest, number 1, to hardest, number 32. We are number 30. So that means we have, according to Sharp Football Analysis, we have the 3rd toughest schedule. The 32 being the hardest, and we are number 30. So not necessarily a good thing. But, hey, if we can come together as a team and actually play well and get through this gauntlet of a schedule, then we should have a chance in the playoffs. You got to beat the best to be the best, so we'll see what happens. You got any pros and cons?
Well, I just say that opening up the season against the Chargers, our division rival, which I think the Chargers are probably the favorite in this division. I think the Chiefs, their window is closing now. I think our main concern is probably the Chargers, because we battled with them the last 2 years with this quarterback. Hello, high school student. What's his name again?
What?
What's the quarterback for the Chargers' name again?
Herbert
Gerber. That's how I remember his name. Little child over there. The Raiders, this is the ultimate test for me, is game 1, because the schedule maker said that's, Let's start this off over there. We're going to be in LA, our second home, like you said. And I think if we can show, I want to say we have to win this game to show that we're, improving from the season before. I think right there is the main test right there, right out the gate right there, season 1. We should take care of the Cardinals at our home opener because, God, I need to know these players' names. The receiver is also on a 6-game suspension.
Yeah. That's where DeAndre Hopkins ended up. But again, we
Hopkins,
dodged
yes.
a bullet with him not being in Houston, and then we dodged a bullet with him being suspended for the first 6 games. Of course, we play, as you can see right down here, we play Arizona week 2. But yeah, week 1, we're starting out in a home away from home, as we said earlier. I want to get this win because it's a division game. We want to jump out of the gates ahead of the division, or at least tied with the division, and then get that head of steam going. And this team has won, I think, it's 3 out of the last 4 home openers, so they're looking to make it 4 straight now, I think. So I'm excited to see this team being able to open up a season. Well, it's not the home opener, but the first game of the season. You know what I mean? They've won 3 out of the last 4. So I'm excited to see this team continue to be that type of team that can win those games coming out of the gate. So then I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're gonna take this win. This is a must win, so I'm gonna say just win, baby.
Yes.
All right, so we both got.
That's a must win. And we have to go 1-0. We have to go 1-0. And we got to take care of the Cardinals. I know that's going to be. God, you know what? I need a roster of everybody.
I sent you the link
right now. It's preseason. Yes.
I sent you the link.
Chandler Jones going against his old team against the Cardinals. He'd be fired up with that. Him and Max, they're going to be competing back and forth for some sacks because the defense is step up. I say we're going to go at least 2-0. The Tennessee Titans game, we're going to be playing at Tennessee. That might be a difficult one. They got the running back Henry. That could be a difficult one on the road early, but we can do it, but it's going to be difficult. I think that might be our first questionable game right there. I think right there I have concern, but we're also playing the NFC West, which I'm ready for because I live in the Bay Area on the Oakland side of the Bay, and we get to play at the end of the season. Our crosstown rivals, the San Francisco, Santa Clara, Cupertino, down south, San Jose, whatever the hell there are now, 49ers. That's what I'm waiting for New Year's too. As an Oakland fan, I'm waiting for that one. So that's my positive right there because we're going to kick the you know what I'm trying to say.
I hate the 49ers. All right, cool. So we both got the Chargers losing to the Raiders week 1. We got I do think that Chandler Jones is going to be able to go in and Max Crosby, and they'll be able to corral Kyler Murray. He won't have his number 1 weapon.
Because Kyler Murray's not studying. Kyler Murray's not studying.
Apparently he's not studying. I don't know. They took the clause out, but whatever. So we both got us going 2-0 to start the season. Yes, now week 3, that's a game that I want to go to. So I hope that they win. But this is the one that's going to be tough. They got Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, who seems to be somebody that we just fucking have a hard time dealing with. You know what I mean? We've been playing
Miami.
Yeah, we've been playing tough games with these teams over the last couple of years. But this is a good test for the defense to step up and take what could be a one-dimensional team and dominate them. So I would love to see this defense, this Patrick Graham defense, come in thumping. They got Derrick Henry, but we got Denzel Perryman. You don't think Denzel Perryman wants to hit, or Perryman wants to hit get the running back.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you, Derrick Henry and Denzel Perryman are going to be a good little matchup to watch during week 3. So even though I want to go and I am a homer, I was just talking about that, but I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to lose this one. I think that it would be nice to see the defense step up, but it's just an unproven defense, and so early on in the season, especially coming off of a game where we're going to play the high-flying Los Angeles Chargers and then probably a quarterback that's going to run all over the place in Arizona. I think this Tennessee Titan defense is going to have, or this game is going to have our defense kind of regrouping a little bit and figuring themselves out, even though we're going to win those games because this is a whole new regime. I think that this one might be one where we stumble because Derrick Henry may just go off, even though we got Perryman. All right, now week 4.
It's a good test.
Yeah, it's going to be a great test, as always. Week 4 at Allegiant Stadium, we got the Denver Broncos coming to town. I recently moved to Colorado, so I'm excited to be broadcasting from that tailgate every year. So we got a lot coming down the road on Section 105 Media Network. Stay tuned. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Now, week 4, the Broncos. It's going to be our second division game. First time we see Russell Wilson. What do you think here?
I mean, who they got? They got Judy, right?
Yep, Jared Judy.
Jared Judy and the running back.
Yeah, and
They
got a whole new owner, So this is a team that we should be able to beat. We should be able to beat this team. But again, Russell Wilson is a good quarterback.
I'm not afraid of no Russell Wilson. I'm not afraid of Russell Wilson because I believe, like I said, we got our 2 bookends. We got Chandler Jones and we got Max Crosby. I think they'll be able to keep him in. I just think that I don't think it's going to be his legs that's going to beat us. It'll probably be, if they do beat us, it'll be his arm, which goes back to what you said earlier. The DBs got to make sure that they stay within, don't bite on him running because that's a lot of the mobile quarterbacks. They use their legs just to get, not to run, but just to get people open. And that's where our DBs got to make sure they stick to the receivers or stay within their zones. And I think we should win that game. But I don't think he'll beat us with his legs. It'll be with him trying to make plays with just, within the pocket to get people open. I think he'll probably beat us with his arm if he does beat us. But I don't think he'll be able to run all over us. He's an older quarterback too. So I think we should be able to keep him contained within the pocket. But other than that, I think they just have defense, right? I don't think they really have too much offense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, but it's a AFC West game. Russell Wilson will be able to keep the Broncos alive at least for the first 3 quarters, I believe, with his legs alone. Jared Judy is still there, even though I think he has some issues with holding on to the ball. He still has good numbers. But you know what? I'm gonna say that we come out after losing the game to the Titans, and having faced. Because I think they got some decent running backs. Having faced one of the best running backs in the NFL, a very mobile quarterback in Arizona, and one of the up-and-coming quarterbacks in LA, I think that we'll be able to handle Denver, taking our second win of the division, leaving us 3-1. That's how I see it. I think that we'll be able to bounce back and get this W in week 4. Especially being at Allegiant Stadium. If we want to get to the Super Bowl and win, we need to start winning at home. This team, led by Derek Carr, can handle themselves on the road. But, we got to start getting these wins at home. So I'm going to go ahead and say that we get this W. Now, week 5. This is the game that everybody wants to see Patrick Mahomes get destroyed if you're a Raider fan, especially me. So I'm hoping that this, we talk about Chiefs falling in the division, losing Tyreek Hill, which I think was, I think that the Raiders front office knew at the very least it would cause problems. Bringing over Devontae Adams, it would cause problems for the Chiefs to sign Tyreek Hill. So I think it was an excellent move by our front office. So I think that's going to hamper them a little bit. If Harmon can play well and cover Kelsey, man, we got a chance here. But now, the other thing is we've only won once in a couple, I would say several years at Arrowhead. So, but it's early in the season, so it's not going to be too cold. So how do you see this one going down?
Yeah, you know how the schedule makers always like to put the Chiefs home against us near Christmas when it's real cold. So the fact that we got them early, as far as it's going to be warm over there in Kansas City, The Chiefs, we always had trouble with the Chiefs, even going back through our history. That the Chiefs have just always been a thorn in our side. That could be a tough one. It all depends on the DBs. I say away, we might slip on that one. So I say we might take an L on that one. I'm still saying 17-0. But I think we might. If they will lose a game, they might take that. They might take an L over there. I just hope that they're competitive. That's all I'm looking for, because the last couple losses we had against them, they're one-sided.
Well, you can't say 17-0 anymore, bro, because this is on record. As of now, you got the Raiders losing twice. Okay.
I said questionable against the Titans.
All right, cool. All right. So right now, I have the Raiders at 4-1. I'm ever the homer, though. So if you're in the comment section, please let us know. I see that the broadcast is still going live. Again, this is it's a new format for us, a new approach to what we usually do. So, just work with us as we work out these kinks and find ways to make this broadcast better. All right, now moving on, we got week 6. Again, I'm not happy about this. This is the bye week. I think it's way too early. I like to see our bye weeks, especially in a 17-week season. I like to see our bye weeks, later in the season, later in the year. Go ahead.
Week 8, week 9, around there, mid-season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but at this point, I'm hoping that we'll have 2 division wins. I think that's important because, we want to be able to rest up and then not lose ground. If they gain some ground on us, big deal. We still got plenty of games to play, but we don't want to lose ground on our week off. How do you get fired on your week off? Losing ground if you don't get ahead of the bye week, I would say. So let's make sure we do that. Get these wins earlier, get the wins we can. Because, if we could, even though I got us losing to the Titans, if we could steal that win, that gives us the tiebreaker. If later on in the end of the season, if we're head to head with another team that and all that other stuff that's going on at the end of the year, that tiebreaker with these in-conference games are important. All right, so here's another in-conference game. Of course,
just make sure that we don't dance on no logos, Raiders.
Yeah,
don't dance on no logos if you can't back it up.
Right. All right. Again,
pissed me off last year.
Okay, coming out of the bye week, we got the Houston Texans at Allegiant Stadium. Again, we got to start winning at Allegiant Stadium. This is the game to win. Coming off the bye week, 2 weeks to prepare for the Houston Texans. This is, if Josh McDaniels can come in and get this win, I think this is going to show that he is the kind of coach that we need to have in order to replace John Gruden. I know that John Gruden, may be a polarizing figure, not as polarizing as Carr now in the Raider Nation, but he and Mike Mayock built a playoff team. So, we weren't doing well coming out of the bye week. So I want to see this new regime take this team that John Gruden helped build and take the next step with the team and be able to win games like this. 2 weeks to prepare. We're going to win this game. We're not going to lose this game. So this is something that we got to get. I want to go ahead and just throw it out there right now. We're taking this win, and we're moving on.
Taking this win. Taking a win. Bye, Houston. Bye, Texans. Peace out. Get out of my home. Next question.
All right, week 8. This is the party for Raider Nation. Most of Raider Nation will be in New Orleans this year. If you are new to traveling or you're looking for somewhere to go where everybody's going to be, it's New Orleans. It's New Orleans. Everybody's going to be there. I'm looking forward to going there. Now, they don't have Drew Brees anymore, even though we beat Drew Brees the last time we played them. They got, what is the guy that steals the crab?
And Sean Payton retired too.
Yeah, so this is a whole new team.
This
is something that we can come in and get. This is a win that we can come in and get. Of course, it's the NFL, but it's important to get this win for one, because all game we just win, baby, right? But Look, an important thing is that this is 2 games back to back where they're probably going to end up staying. Some of the articles I'm reading are talking about how they're going to end up staying, away from home. So for the 2 weeks that they play the Saints and the Jaguars, so I would hope that we can get that win. Now I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to get that win. What do you say?
I say without Drew Brees and Sean Payton, we could be looking at a Saints team that probably looks like the Saints team from back when Aaron Brooks was quarterbacking. Wasn't that great? Because we had Aaron Brooks right after.
He still beat us though, right? So I just.
So, I say we got the W.
All right, so let's take a look real quick at the.
Who do they have?
Let's take a look at the depth chart real quick. Again, man, we're Raider fans coming on here to chat with Raider fans, 2 Raider fans. With Jameis Winston, famous Jameis. They got him, and then they got Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket. They got Kamara, the good running back. They got Ingram, so they're gonna come with and they still got Michael Thomas. So this could be a tough game, but famous Jameis, man, he's known for chunking that rock. He can get you, but you know what? He'll throw some interceptions too. So maybe the secondary that we're hoping can really take the next step and start to force turnovers, because they only had 6 last year. Can really start to take off in games like this, and this would be a perfect opportunity for this defense to come in and maybe force a quarterback change if it hasn't happened already. If Jameis is going to start, I'd love to see this game turn into a quarterback change for the Saints. Now we just took a look at the roster for the Saints. Of course, I'm still going to say we're going to win this game because I think Jameis is going to want to get the Raiders back and Derek Carr back for that loss that he took in Tampa Bay when Seth Roberts split the defenders and took it all the way in.
OT.
I expect Jameis to try to do too much.
Isn't Jameis Winston part of the 50-50 club, 50 touchdowns, 50 interceptions in the same year?
Something like that, yeah, dude. I mean, for however good he is, he's that bad too. You know what I mean? But Andy Dalton coming in, he didn't do well for Dallas, right? I don't believe he's not there anymore. So he's coming towards the end of his career. He's just out there, collecting a check. So we should be able to get this one. Now let's go ahead and hop back over here to Jacksonville. Now again, they're some of the reports are that this team is going to go ahead and stay since it's in the same region on this side of the country. This is another game that I want to go. So this is going to be 2 back-to-back games that I'm trying to get to. And I want to broadcast over there with DFW, so I'm hoping that works out. All to be determined, right? But the Jacksonville Jaguars, let's go ahead and take a look at their little roster. I know they got Rob's saving grace, the guy that Rob wanted let's see.
Rob Howard.
Yeah, Raider Rob. Radio. Yeah, let's see. He wanted.
Shout out to Raider Fan Radio out there.
Absolutely.
Beautiful Black Howard.
Raider Rob. Stoner Dude.
And Stoner Dude 420.
All right, Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, that's who Rob wanted. That's who Raider Rob wanted. He thought that Trevor Lawrence would be able to come in and bring that swag to the Raiders. Not necessarily a Derek Carr fan, but it's okay. He says I drink Derek Carr Kool-Aid, but hey, I'm a homer. So this, second-year quarterback, who do we got? We got some, I'm not going to say no names, right? They're all in the NFL, but not household names going on right here. Zay Jones, he's over there now. So do you think that Zay Jones,
yes.
I would hope that our defensive backfield by this point can handle Zay Jones. You know what I mean? And Marvin Jones Jr. We got to be able to handle these teams at this point in the season. So, here we go, right? You said 17-0. I'm closer than you. But I think we're going to take this one, too. Gangster Raider, he came on Section 1 Monday Night Live not too long ago to kick off the season. And he was 17-0. This guy believes in it. A lot of people are believing it. That we can win a lot of games this season. And these, as a Raider fan, you want to see this next step in the progression of the Mark Davis era Raiders, So we got to get this win. I'll go ahead and say yes. Now, we're going to have to, at some point, though, we're going to have to say that there's a team that's going to come up and we're sleeping and they're going to get one from us. So I would say it's right around this point of the season. But how do you feel that we're going to fare against the Jacksonville Jaguars?
It's another game that we got to take. We can't. One of our biggest flaws, or biggest, whatever you want to call it, in the last couple of years is we always play to our competition. The good teams, we're right there. But it's the bad teams where I don't know if we just don't, if we're overconfident, we get into those games or whatever it is, we got to start these teams, these weak teams like the Saints, like the Jaguars. We got to take care of business. That's what will show us that we are a good team. We can't let these little little teams keep us stressing or watching these games. I shouldn't be yelling at the TV like, come on, it's the fucking Jaguars. We got to make sure that we take care of these teams. We got to make sure that these lower rebuilding teams, they're trying to build these bricks, that we kick these bricks down to the ground again. We can't let these little teams beat us. That's our main thing. That's one of our main things too, is these smaller teams, these rebuilding teams competing with us to the final seconds, to the final minutes. Got to make sure we take care of these teams. Jacksonville should be a W because it's Jacksonville. The last time they were good, Maurice Jones-Drew was playing for them. So we need to take care of this team. That has to be a W. Next question.
All right. So we're going to move right along. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go with this. I'm going to say, even though I want this team to be able to step up at this point, if we're, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2 at this point, we're in good shape. But I think that this will be because you know how, towards the end of the season, a team starts to build up this momentum and they go all the way and then they fall flat on their face. But a lot of times when a team that it builds up this momentum and they take a lump or two before they get into the the playoffs, they're better prepared, better battle ready, I guess, So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at let's take a look at their roster real quick and see who they got, because I know there's gonna be a team that's sneaking up on us here pretty soon. It's gonna get us it's gonna take a win from us. So we'll go ahead and take a look at Indianapolis.
The last couple of years, we would start off 6-2, 6-3, whatever. Like, we're up there. Like you said, we'll get to a point at that 10 week mark or that 10 game mark for us, and we start to decline. So that's the one thing that we got to make sure. I don't know if it's a conditioning thing, but we got to make sure that we got to keep putting pressure on the teams. We can't just have a nice record like 6-2, 7-2, whatever, and then just start declining. We can't do that. We gotta finish strong. The fourth quarter of the season is what we gotta take care of. So, especially in our division.
Absolutely. So looking at the Colts, they do have some pretty good quarterbacks, some experienced quarterbacks, and Matt Ryan and Nick Foles, who we've never played well against. So, that doesn't bode well, right? This could be one of those games that sneaks up on you and bites you in the ass. They got Michael Pittman Jr. I believe he was coached by our running backs coach from last year. Let's see. So last year... Oh, no. Never mind. Excuse me. He's a wide receiver. Okay, so he's coming off 88 receptions, 1,082 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 12.3 yards average. So he doesn't, it looks like he's ready to compete. You know what I mean? 6'4", 233. Good little test for, our cornerbacks. But if this is going to be the game that sneaks up on you, it's got to be this one, I would say. And then, of course, you got Yannick Ngakoue down here, who he has already said when he plays the Raiders, he wants to get them. He wants to get us. So this guy might be able to come in and wreck shop, maybe challenge Leatherwood, maybe not, make Leatherwood have to, wake up a little bit, get back focused. Who knows? Of course, he's going to be facing Colton Miller as well. Could do the same thing to Colton. But yeah, I think this guy's going to be him, and this quarterbacks that are leading the Colts will be able to take a W from the Raiders. So I'm going to go ahead and say that week 10, we're going to take the L. See, this is kind of what we got to do to research this. You know what I mean? But hey, like I said, we're developing, what we're doing here on this show. So we'll just take a look a little bit more before we go live and still show y'all what we're looking at.
Well, I think that because that's a home game for us, right? That's a home game against the Colts.
At Allegiant Stadium. Yeah, at Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah. If we're going by past tendencies, this is around the time. Usually it's an away game where we just totally
stink it.
lay an egg.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that we'll lay an egg, which they better not lay an egg. But this could be, like you said, one of those not a trap game, just one of those games that just looks a little bit too dangerous. You do have Matt Ryan, who got traded, or he was traded, right? Traded from
I believe
Falcons
so.
over there.
Yeah, from the Falcons. Yeah.
You know, even though he might be, he's going towards the end of his career. A lot of these quarterbacks who go to a new location, they got something to prove, and this could be one of those games because we always have trouble. We always have trouble with the Colts. We have came up on top the last couple times, but we always have trouble with the Colts. That could be. I could see that being an L. I don't like it at home, but realistically, that could be an L because we're getting towards that point of the season of last couple tendencies where the Raiders start to be like on shaky ground.
And we're also 4 games after the bye week this week, or during this game too. So the injuries could be mounting up, and I mean we could just be having to deal with a lot of bullshit that usually happens with like injuries, as far as injuries, and it's always some weird injury that kills us. So this would be that point of the season where that it kind of gets shaky, I would believe. So you got us losing to the Colts as well?
I can see that being a game that we probably might lose within the last couple minutes. I'm saying it'd be competitive, but I can see them losing that one.
All right, so we had Raiders jumping up.
Make us 8-3 now, right?
I believe so. 1, 2,
7
3,
3?
4, 5, 6, 7, and 3. Yeah. All right, so
7-3.
Okay, here we go. We're looking real quick glance, but we're gonna come back to week 11. We still got at this point we're 7-3. We still got the Broncos, the Seahawks, the Chargers, the Rams, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Niners, and the Chiefs. Still a murderer's row. So, I mean, let's take a look. What do you think? We're gonna be at Mile High Stadium. I believe, what is it? Let's see. This is why, again, go to the Las Vegas Review-Journal and check out some of these. So, all-time records. Okay, so the Raiders have won 2 straight games in Denver and the past 4 overall in the storied rivalry. So we've won the last 4 games against the Broncos. Now, this would be 5. Now, we're at that point of the season where we were just talking about injuries. We just looked at the stats. We won the last 4 games, the last 2 in Denver. We're in Mile High. Of course, I'm going to be broadcasting from this tailgate with the Black Hole in Denver. But, maybe this is the week we take 2 losses because we haven't gone 2 weeks with 2 losses. So I don't see us, doing that all year. There's going to be a skid. And I think that this would be right about it where our guys are starting to get injured. Some of them might start missing these games. They might start getting set just so that they can be ready for the rest of the games. So I'm going to go ahead and say Russell Wilson. The Broncos may be probably looking at a tough schedule as well. We can look at that real quick. The Broncos are looking at 16. So their schedule is like ranked right in the middle of it, according to Sharp Football Analysis. Checked out their website. So, they could be looking at, a poorer record, considering that they're kind of rebuilding here in all the stuff that's gone on in the organization. But this might be the game where Russell Wilson's like, you know what? Screw this. I'm taking this game. You're coming to our house. You beat us the first time. It might be a close game. So I'll go ahead and say this is where we take the L 2 weeks in a row for the first time this season. But hopefully it becomes a wake-up call and our defense, realizes that, hey, we gotta step it up because I know we talked about this a little while ago, beating teams that are, rebuilding like the Jaguars and the Saints, but the Colts have been pretty good the last couple of years, and then they just added good quarterbacks, and the Broncos are always tough. So I would say right now is where we get the second loss in a row. All right.
I think the Black Hole Denver chapter is going to come out strong over there in Mile High. They've already burnt down half their stadium this past offseason.
There
So I
must have
think
been
that
a
we take this because
there must have been a Blazer Raider sighting over there, huh?
there's a Blazer Raider threw the blunt somewhere, hit the gas tank, exploded half of the stadium. That's what happened. I know the guy personally. I know the guy. But see, I don't care with Wilson. I don't care, Kay, because we've been doing pretty good in cold stadium. You know, because is it going to be snowing right there? That's the end of November.
Yeah.
Might be a little cold. Raiders have been doing pretty good in cold weather the last couple seasons. I think that could be a W for the Raiders. I just, who do they have? Who does Denver have?
Well, let's see. Of course,
They
they
have a
got Russell
receiver,
Wilson,
and they have
Jared
a running
Judy.
back.
Let's take a look at the roster real quick. Getting all the way back here. Hold on a second. Okay, so depth chart, not roster. It's easier to see everyone. So Russell Wilson, Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Judy, Tim Patrick, like I said, not a whole lot. They traded Von Miller. This is this is not a good team. But again, it's a wounded dog, I think, at this point in the year. And we're dealing with all the injuries. We're coming off of a loss in the previous game. I just think Russell Wilson might be able to keep his team alive in the this point in the season.
Do you think this would be a game where the Broncos are fighting for a playoff spot or playing spoiler?
I think they're gonna be on the outside looking in, but they're gonna be in a situation where maybe mathematically they could get in, but they have to start winning. I think it's gonna be like that. They're gonna be in desperation mode. They're gonna pull out all the stops. They're gonna be trying to win. It's the Raiders. The Raiders beat them. They want to win against the Raiders. I just kind of maybe see it like that.
I still say W.
All right, cool. That'll work. All right, cool. So now we are going up to Seattle. Let's go ahead and take a look at their roster.
Drew Lock, number one quarterback in Seattle. Drew Lock, W. Next question.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning there. Oh no, we got Geno Lock at second right now with Drew Lock listed as per ESPN as a second quarterback, and Geno Smith listed as the first quarterback. Of course, they got Geno Smith. See, this is the problem, right? You got Geno Smith, he's not afraid to throw the ball. He's gonna move around the pocket a little bit, and then you got DK Metcalf, huge wide receiver, and Gabe Jackson's there now. He's gonna be trying to hit the Raider defensive line. But yeah, DK Metcalf, 6'4", 235 pounds, coming off of 75 receptions, 967 yards. 12 touchdowns. Let's see. It looks like
it's going to be hard to throw to Metcalf if the quarterback's on his back. Al Davis, 101.
The quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard. All right. So, yeah, well, this again, we're going to go back to what I want to see, what I'm hoping. That's basically what this whole season prediction is for me. It's just kind of what I want to see, what I'm hoping to see. But I would say at this point, we're coming off of 2 losses. We got to get back into the win column. We got to get back into our winning ways. At this point, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more games to go, and we are now 1, 2, 3, 7 and 3. So we got to get this win in Seattle. I'm gonna go ahead and say we get the W, and you got us getting the W too, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
Because look, the Seahawks, their window closed, especially once they shipped out Wilson. There's no Legion of Boom. They don't have, they just have Metcalf. Like, who was their thumper? Who was the running back? It's no longer,
they don't really have a big name running back.
that's another team that we got to make sure we take care of, even though it's away, even though it's in Seattle. It's another team that we got to make sure we take care of because they're in that rebuilding process. Geno Smith, really? He's still in the league?
Yeah, he's still, dude.
The number
real,
one pick for the Jets. He's the Jets.
Yeah.
Geno Smith is still in the league.
Yeah, the guy that ran out of the pocket, stood there by the sideline and got tackled by Khalil Mack. Yeah, that Geno Smith.
Well, I'm glad that there's still opportunities out there for people to play quarterback. I'm gonna go and maybe start my NFL career. If Geno Smith is still in the league, I think
don't
it's time
call
for me
it
to
a
go out
comeback.
there.
Touchdown Raiders. All right, cool. All right, so again, I kind of want to say this is a tough game right here. Are we going to be able to beat the Chargers twice this year? We wanted to show up at the home away from home so we can have the bragging rights in LA, even though we played there twice this year. Is this one, what are we going to do? 3 times. What are we going to, twice, excuse me. What are we going to do? Are we going to be able to beat the Chargers at Allegiant Stadium?
What was it? 2 years ago, we lost at home, but we beat them in LA.
Yeah.
And then last year, we
so.
lost in LA. We beat them at home.
Yeah, I think we're flipping it, yeah. Let's go see. I don't know if that, you may not have that on there. Nope, I don't have that.
This is one of those games because at this point of the season, I'm telling you, it's going to be Raiders and Chargers fighting for first place. And Chargers, I think the NFL sees them as the new darlings of the AFC West after the Chiefs. That's going to be a tough game. Even though it's at home, that's going to be a tough game. I want to say they take the W. I want to see Raiders take it. But it's going to be a hard game. As long as... Because we had them twice. They were a hard opponent last year. We took them to overtime and got that victory to go into the playoffs. And then the year before, on Monday Night Football. Hat game when Gruden had the Oakland hat, switch it to the Las Vegas hat.
Oh yeah.
They beat us on that sneak. He ran it
at
in
the 1 yard line.
We couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't. We're talking a different regime. And 2 years ago, whole different defensive scheme also. But the Chargers and us, we're like this.
So what do you got us losing?
I want to say we take the W, but it's hard. Tie.
Oh, he got the tie. Okay. All right, cool. The first tie. Now, okay. I like that. Now, this, I'm looking at these 2 weeks, and I'm looking at this, what we call, so far we've lost, out of the last 3 weeks, we've lost 2 and won 1. We got to get back on our winning ways. Who knows what's going to happen at this point, but hopefully if we're dealing with injuries, our guys, are starting to come back at this point. And I'm going to say that we're going to take this one because I keep saying that we got to win at home. I'm going to say we go ahead and beat the Chargers 3 times in a row, and take, give ourselves a good cushion on this playoff run. So I'm going to go ahead and say we win this one. Now, I say that because I think we're going to be, other than that, I think it's because we're going to be going back to L.A. to play the Rams. So twice we're going to be playing in L.A. We're going to we're going to win one time for sure, hopefully twice, but I would say this Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams is not going to want to give up bragging rights to the former LA Raiders. I think that this team is going to come out banging. The Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr comparisons are going to come to full light in this game. But I think that the Rams, because of Aaron Donald, are going to be able to get this win right here. So I think that we're going to be looking for that 2-win week to get back on track. But I think this time when we go to LA, we're going to get the L versus the Rams.
That's a tough one too. We know. Well, they won't have Beckham because he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl. If he was to play, I don't. They won't have him as a deep threat. But they do have
Cooper Kupp. Yeah.
What's that white dude's name?
Cooper Kupp.
What's
Cooper
Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
So I knew it was a coop and a cup and a coop and a cup.
A poop in a cup. What? God damn.
Two girls. No. Okay. I think that I can see that being a loss. I can see that being a loss. I mean, it all depends on injuries and everything. But if we're talking right now, I can see that being a loss. Super Bowl champions, defending Super Bowl champions. So I see that as an L.
All right. So
I
we
hate
both
saying that though, but I see that as an L.
I know. But if we're gonna lose one in LA, let it be to the Rams, right? Even though you're not supposed to hang your hat on anything, you can at least hang your hat on the fact that we hopefully played a tough game against the LA Rams. All right, now this is the big one, right? These guys, we just can't get over these guys. You know what I mean? They're tough. Josh McDaniels, excuse me. He played pretty well when he had Cam. He coached up a good game, and the other QB, I believe, Stidham. So New England, the hoodie's coming to Allegiant Stadium. We lost to Tom Brady in Allegiant Stadium. He celebrated on our field. We don't want the hoodie to come in here and do that this year. We want Josh McDaniels to show that what he learned from the New England Patriots, they should have never taught him because he wanted to come to Oakland to Las Vegas and coach for the Raiders. So I'm gonna say this one we're gonna win. We're gonna win this one because we just got thumped or we just got outdueled against the Rams. Our coach is not going to want to lose to his former team. He wants to show that he's ready to take the next step beyond Bill Belichick and that he is not going to be like the coaches that come out of New England and are not successful. He's going to want to beat the hoodie and continue his successful season in Week 15. He's going to get the W against the Patriots.
We all know since January 19th, 2002, we all know that if it's a Patriot, we want to kill them. That's why I don't watch that Mel Gibson movie because I protested. I hate the Patriots. But we got to get this win. It's at home. We got to take care of First of all, Brady was playing for the Buccaneers when he beat us. But that Sunday was the whole thing with the whole COVID and everything. All the other teams get to play on a Tuesday night, and they make Brady go play us. We're supposed to play Sunday night, had us playing Sunday morning. Doesn't make any sense. That trophy was made for Brady. That COVID trophy don't count. I know it has nothing to do with this team, but I hate Brady and I hate the Patriots. Raiders take this win. We retire Hoodie. The Raiders beat them and retire Hoodie. Raiders get the W at home against the Patriots because I hate the Patriots. That's why we get the W, because I hate the Patriots. Next question.
Next question. Why? Because I hate them. All right, speaking of teams that we hate, next up is the Pittsburgh Squealers. These teams we
go from snow job to immaculate deception. Let's go.
And actually, I believe this is like this is going to be a few days after the anniversary of the immaculate deception. So maybe they'll be doing something to commemorate that, especially being that they're in Pittsburgh. You're going to see that damn highlight, and we're gonna have to hear that crap over and over. And again, they'll probably do the same type of shit with New England, showing the tuck rule again for the umpteenth time every time we play them. That's what Rob gets mad about. He's like, these bastards, they jobbed us, and then they put the snakes in the garden, essentially, is what he's saying, letting the Patriots regime come over to the Raiders. But Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Let's take a look at their roster. I believe that old rapist is still there. Let's see.
No, Ben, didn't he retire? Or is this the last season?
Well, let's pull it up.
First of all, Frenchie Fuqua touched that ball Jack Tatum did not touch that ball. Second of all, that ball hit the ground before. Why am I forgetting his name? The one that ran the ball up. Franco Harris caught that ball. And third of all, there was a block in the back against Filippiano. All that, I could have been a flag. That game was over. 1974, I think that was.
All right, so you are correct. Roethlisberger is retired. See, maybe I need to play fantasy football so I can keep up with some of this shit. Obviously, I'm a Raider homer. I watch and study Raider football. But quarterbacking the Pittsburgh Steelers is Mitch Trubisky, coming from Chicago. Not necessarily concerned about him. They do got Najee Harris.
Is he wearing number 10?
I'm not sure.
Is he wearing number 10?
I'm not sure. They do got the Miles Jack.
Because he ain't Slash.
TJ Watt.
He ain't Slash number 10.
Oh, no? Nah. But
you remember
Chase
Slash a long time ago?
Yeah. Cordell Stewart. Yeah, I hated that guy. Chase Claypool is actually a pretty good wide receiver. So they still have some. And Najee Harris is a good running back. They're listed as questionable, as you can see right here. But it's still early on. But, the major concerns, right, are TJ Watt and Miles Jack. I believe Miles Jack is the guy that everybody wanted. But we drafted Cleveland Farrell. So definitely, they always have a tough defense. But with the fact that they got Mitch Trubisky, that's a W. That's a W.
Yeah, Schuster got traded to the Chiefs, right?
I can't remember.
Or he was...
These are all questions you're supposed to ask in like the green room and shit, during the week.
My bad, This is the green room right now. This is preseason podcasting. Claypool, he was good. I remember he was good 2 years ago, right? He was good. He was decent last year. We beat them last year in Pittsburgh. We were driving home from that game, trying to watch that on the iPad. We gotta take it. We gotta take it. Trubisky, the Bears' top pick in the draft. They traded him away to give up on him. Trubisky. We can't let a quarterback named Trubisky beat us. Trubisky sounds like a sandwich you get at a barbecue. You can't have Trubisky beat us. That's a W. We beat them on the anniversary, whatever it is. Immaculate Deception. We beat them again at home. I don't care if it's snowing, because that is on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Raiders take this one. Next question.
All right, so we're 11-4 here. I got us taking the Steelers too. Now, you were just ranting at the beginning of the show about the Week 17 much anticipated new battle of the Vegas or whatever. I think they're calling it Vegas, like mixing Bay and Vegas. This is a game I'd love to make it to. This is on my birthday. So this is something that I would love to enjoy, especially with my beautiful wife, Raiderette Vanessa. And, the homies, Cali Mark 512. So looking forward to maybe seeing this game at the end of the year. Well, let's take a look at their schedule. Let's see. Their roster, I should say, through the schedule. I mean, they've been pretty good, though. They've been pretty good here recently. They got Trey Lance ahead of Jimmy Garoppolo, as per ESPN, still early in training camp. They got Debo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell.
He just got an extension.
Yeah, and we got Javon Kinlaw, Nick Bosa.
Hey, is Arden Key still on there trying to talk mess?
Let me see. Where is he gonna be at? Defensive end. I don't see him.
Wrong key.
Yeah, that guy, man. Hey, we got Max and we got Chandler, so let's just go with it. So this one right here, I'm gonna say, nah, we're gonna go ahead and take this one. Damn, we're gonna be going to the Super Bowl, dude. So we gotta win this one, right? Week 17. I'm going to say the W. All right, so now we're at like 12 wins. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're at 12 wins right now, man. And as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what I got. But so it's getting down there. Are we going to be able to get this? Last one?
It is New Year's Day in Las Vegas. For us here up in the Northern California, Oakland side, doesn't matter whether because the Niners don't even play in San Francisco. They play in an amusement park parking lot in Great America, which is going to shut down soon too. So doesn't matter whether the Raiders and the Niners, doesn't matter. It's always going to be a rival. It's always going to be a rival. And we, at home, we better take this. Do you remember the last preseason game last year? Their coach, Shanahan, and as Raiders, we know we hate that last name, Shanahan, out there with his silver and black Niner hat, pretending like the last game of the season is a chance to go to the last game of the preseason, chance to go to the Super Bowl, doing all these trick plays, rotating quarterbacks. All our starters are at home, like, they're probably watching the game there. Just for that preseason game, just for all of my friends who I have out here who are Niner fans, this is a pride game. We need pride because San Francisco. This is a game that we need to take. We cannot let them, because the last time we played them in a regular season game, you remember that we were out there in Santa Clara and we got killed. I remember that night because I got drunk that night because of that game. But we got to take this. We can't. I don't care if the Niners are in the playoffs. NFC Championship, Super Bowl. I don't care. We got to take this. This is just for Bay Area pride. Doesn't matter if we're in Vegas. They're in the bottom tip of the Bay Area. So I know we're in the Bay Area. We got to take this win. I don't care. This is about pride and poise. Just win. East Bay all the way. Let's go. W at Allegiant Stadium. Happy New Year's, everybody. Let's go. Next question.
Boom. All right. So here we go. Kansas City Chiefs. Last game to be determined. They think this is gonna have playoff implications. We were just talking about the Chiefs declining, but is this maybe the Chiefs in desperation mode to get into the playoffs, or in spoiler mode to just beat the hated Raiders and maybe take us from like a bye week in the playoffs to the wild card round? I'm thinking maybe this might be that one, dude, where the Chiefs get that win and hand us the L and just kind of screw up our season, but we still get into the playoffs. I'm going to go ahead and go with an L on this one. I think the Chiefs are going to get their revenge game here.
Well, I had the Raiders losing this close game at Arrowhead earlier in the season. But this one, it's a closeout game at home against the Chiefs. I'm tired of seeing memes. Remember last year, the Chiefs barely beat us, and they go and show Mahomes walking away from Allegiant Stadium, blowing up with John Gruden and Derek Carr in confusion. I'm tired of these memes. I'm tired of everyone all over Mahomes. This is where we send Mahomes packing because we're going to give him a concussion. We're going to bust his foot like he did towards the end of last season when all these Chiefs fans are crying. We should have postponed the game so Mahomes can have his head back. It doesn't matter. We take care of business. We beat Mahomes in our stadium. We need to start, like you said, we need to start protecting this house, Under Armour, and we need to beat the Chiefs to go into the playoffs. Number one in the AFC West. Tired of the Chiefs. We take this one at home. Here we go. What's our first playoff game? Let's go.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far into it, but hopefully, I would imagine that we're gonna be playing, maybe the Titans or something like that, but let's take a look at that as we get towards the end of the season. That's something that we'll come back to. Now let's go ahead and count these wins. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wins. To 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, that equals 17. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 wins. 1, 2, 3. I think you. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 15, and then a tie. 16. So I got us going 12-5. Possibly losing to the Chiefs to make us get a slide from the divisional round down to the wild card round, and then you have us at 11-4-1. Where do you think we'll be playing, the division or the wild card?
The AFC is tough. The number one, the contenders, Buffalo Bills. Chiefs went toe-to-toe with them last season in the divisional round. With the Bengals, I say because there's only one seed that gets the bye week on the number one seed now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I say,
yeah.
I say we'll probably be in the wild card week. I think depending on how the Bills play this season with Josh Allen, I'll say we'll probably in the playing week, the first week of the playoffs.
All right, cool.
We were close this past season. We were close.
Yeah.
Get to the next level.
Yeah, we
Going
both
to the
got
division
us.
round. We're very close.
Yeah, we both got us playing in the division, the wild card round. So hey, I'll take it. We want to be a perennial. We want to be a perennial playoff team, and it starts here. I think that was a pretty fair look at the schedule. We win in 2 more games than we did last year, and then you have us winning 1 more game than we did last year. So it's an improvement. That's definitely what we need as a fan base and as a team, especially after this coaching change and the recent coaching changes. This team has been through a lot. It's time to settle down. Dig in and start to win. All right,
Just
cool.
one, baby.
Yeah, so let's see. We might have, I don't know if we had any phone calls. Let me see. I'm going to check this out real quick. Google Voice. Again, you can call 512-298-2407 and leave a voicemail. We're going to be working on the formats of this game, and then we had some technical difficulties, so we will be going live on Facebook, and then you can find us. Just find me on social media. You'll find out where to go, and then we're going to be posting this show to the YouTube page. So we didn't get any calls. Didn't get any voicemails, so no big deal. Please give us a call, 512-298-2407. And of course, like I said, we had some technical difficulties going live tonight, so this is just going to end up being a recording for YouTube. So we're just going to go ahead and skip the phone blitz. Once again, Oakland Raiders Savage, man, thank you so much, dude. Let's go ahead and switch to this one. Oakland Raiders Savage, thank you so much for being a part of Section 105 Media Network. You've been a true friend over the last couple of years, man. We've been able to put out some pretty decent content, travel, have fun. Now we're on this new venture where we're going to do what we've been wanting to do, which is just focus on the team and save all the superfan stuff for the tailgates and the games, man. So how are you feeling about this first show of Sideline to Sideline?
Well, it's kind of trying to put it together, but I think that it's something that I just miss talking about Raider football. So I got to do a little more studying. This is something that I wanted to do also, is just talk about Raider football, the team on the field. So I think it's going to be an exciting season. We should have a lot of good things to talk about this year. So that's what I'm hoping, and that's what I'm ready for. And let's just do it. Let's do it. Just win, baby. Let's go.
Just win, baby. All right, Raider Nation, that's going to do it for tonight's episode of Sideline to Sideline. We appreciate you tuning in, and we hope that you tune in every week. We will be going live every week. Yes, it's going to be during Monday Night Football, but hey, you know what? We have one Monday Night Football game, so we will wait until after that game to go live. But you know what? Just put the game on mute and tune in to us, as we'll keep you posted to what's going on in that game. If anything special happens, you'll see it on your TV, and we'll let you know what happened. But we want to be able to have you participate in this this platform that we're building. This is, we're going to have the phone blitz at the end so that the Raider Nation voice can be heard. Please ask us questions, whatever you'd like to do. We wanted this to be more of an interactive broadcast/podcast. So, Raider Nation, with all that, or Oakland Raider Savage, with all that being said, tell the Raider Nation how they can find you on social media.
Find me on Instagram, Oakland Raider Savage. On Facebook, Oakland Raider Savage. And on Twitter, which I got to keep going, Oak Raider Savage. And you can email me, RaiderSavage@yahoo.com. And that's it. Right now, the OnlyFans has a couple. I'm just joking. No, not
Oh, yeah,
OnlyFans
don't
yet.
go to that one, y'all. All right, and then I will be
Savage
going to...
Package 69. Sorry, go ahead.
Stop, dude. All right, I'll be going to Canton, Ohio, and I'm looking forward to having some interviews with Ira Matthews, Kenny Stabler, Reggie Kinlaw, and hopefully Lester Hayes. So we'll be playing some of that footage possibly during this show. Please go to Section 105 Media Network and subscribe and tune in live at Oakland Raider Football Las Vegas videos Facebook page. That's where we will be going live. And then you can always come back and listen to the playback here. Or if you're a YouTuber and you prefer YouTube, just go ahead and listen on YouTube. Thank you very much, Raider Nation. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, man, I fucked up and didn't press go live.
Is that are we off here?
Yeah. Damn it, that's what I did. I forgot to press go live. This is why we were supposed to do it, beforehand.
Yeah, I think Vanessa was saying in the comments that people were like, "We can't see it." She goes, "Yeah, but they're on."
Oh, I think she did. I think they just heard us say that too. I can. Oh, there ain't nobody gonna watch it to the end.
Just make sure they didn't see that I was bald.
No, I fucking have the. Yeah, I gotta get my mute button back.